screaming toddler just ruined Spider-Man No Way Home for me last night, and I finally snapped. Hey everyone, welcome back to Childfree for Life. Don't forget to subscribe to be a for-lifer. I am absolutely freaking livid. I know it's just a movie, but I've been battling depression for months, and this is one of the small joys I was really looking forward to. My friends have all told me how amazing it is, and I was so incredibly hyped to finally watch it, and then this freaking happened. We reserved seats in advance and specifically chose the latest showing, 11:15 p.m. on a Sunday night for the sole purpose of avoiding young kids. Because what kind of freaking parent takes their 2-year-old to a movie that ends at 2 in the morning? A piece of crap parent, that's who. The movie started and we thought we were safe. No young children around us. Seemed like a respectable audience. Then, 5 minutes in, the freaking circus shows up. 2 parents and 4 children, including a toddler that was carried in. I'm guessing it was like 1.5 to 2 years old. Too young to even freaking understand the movie. What's the point? And to my horror, they loudly clamber into the row behind us. First half of the movie wasn't too bad, except for the near constant freaking plastic crinkling sounds, loud chewing, hands being shoved into popcorn bags, and the occasional vocal outburst from the toddler. Then it became a frequent outburst. Then just full-on crying because the freaking 2-year-old is exhausted and clearly isn't capable of sitting quietly for almost 3 hours. Parents have zero freaking social awareness and just let the kid yell and cry. Ruined some of the most emotional parts of the movie. Couldn't even hear what the frick they were saying on screen. Other people are turning around giving the parents dirty looks and they are completely unaware. At this point, I get up and find an attendant out in the lobby to report this BS. They come in for 15 seconds to watch, then did absolutely freaking nothing about it. The outbursts, whining, and random screeches continue through the last scenes. Any meaningfulness or emotion that the movie was supposed to portray was lost. Couldn't hear crap but the crying kid. Credits roll, kid screams, and I freaking lose it. My hands are shaking. I'm so ticked. I stand up, swing around, and yell at the parents. Hey, thanks a lot for letting your screaming kid ruin the movie for everyone. Thanks for thinking it was a good idea to bring your toddler to an 11 p.m. showtime. Great parenting. They looked completely shocked and offended that someone actually had the audacity to call them out. They yelled at me to go frick myself, collected their freak show of offspring, and rushed out. I'm still angry about it this morning. I can't stand kids, but I hate freaking terrible, entitled, ignorant parents more than anything else on earth. Did you ask for your money back at the movie theater? We went in to see the very last showing of the last Resident Evil movie, the last showing of the night, almost midnight, and the last day was in theaters. Our schedules are so out of whack that we often don't have free time to actually go to a showing that would be good without kids. So we figured a showing that late for an R-rated movie would be safe. We were wrong. Right before the movie started, parents came in with 2 very young children to an R-rated movie. Already have low expectations for these people. Kids kept asking questions and talking through the previews, and my husband turns around to look at them like, is this gonna be a thing? And the dad looks back like, go ahead, say something. I dare you. Confirmed pieces of crap just by visual exchanges. 5 minutes into the opening of the movie and the kids already start to be loud. My husband just goes, nope, and gets up and walks out. We go up, let them know we want a refund. They ask why. He says because they let young kids in for a late show of an R-rated movie. We'll go talk to them so they're quiet. No, they're not going to be quiet. We took the refund and left. I'm sorry, not sorry, but R-rated movies after a certain time need to be adult only. Not even accompanied minors should be let in. I would exclusively go to a theater that enforces that. A couple months ago, when the M. Night Shyamalan movie Old was in theaters, a couple friends and I went to go see a late night showing. It was the 3 of us, late 20s, early 30s, and a group of about 5 middle schoolers. They were messing around, screaming during previews, whatever, film's not on. But once it started, they were treating it like it was a Mystery Science Theater 3000, but middle school BS comments. When they started dropping hard R's to refer to any character, I lost it. I had to force myself not to say anything to them as I left the theater, and my friends and I went to the front, asked for refunds. They asked why, we told them, they said they'd kick them out, we told them the moment was ruined. They refunded us, but needed a manager to give us signed tickets. They, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to kick the kids out before just giving us our refund tickets or whatever. So this group of middle schoolers came out nagging and whining, and my friends and I had to sit at the front counter as they were escorted out of the theater in front of us. it was a small victory. I had to do this about 6 years ago. It was the last time I went to a theater. It wasn't a kid though. It was some drunk, trashy moron who was blabbing the whole time. Told the guy to shush, and he started back-talking me. Long story short, I was about to fight this guy, but my girlfriend was more level-headed and she got our money back and we left. Too many cell phones making noise or lighting up the darkness, belligerent kids, belligerent adults, expensive tickets, and expensive snacks. No theaters for me anymore. I watch all my movies at home. You sound a lot like me. I get so angry after holding it in, I just start shaking and get all flustered. I knew my husband was the one when, years back, we were watching a scary movie and these obnoxious 13-year-olds wouldn't shut the heck up. Right when I was about to lose it, my husband stood up, turned around, and yelled, "Will you shut up?" I was shocked and then so relieved because they actually stopped. I once went with a group of friends to see a horror movie. While they were showing the previews, a couple walks in with a toddler about 2 years old. As soon as I saw them, I knew this was going to be trouble. So the movie starts, and as soon as the monsters and whatnot appear on the screen, the little girl starts whining, obviously scared. At first she was just like whimpering, but she gradually got more and more agitated until she was basically shrieking. So everybody in the theaters tells the couple to take the girl out before she's traumatized. They gave everyone dirty looks and told us to mind our business. At that point, I was done and went looking for an attendant. Told them there was a child in an 18+ movie and that she's scared to death. That if they don't remove them for the child's sake, I'll be calling the cops to deal with it. They went in and told them to leave. And to be honest, I felt for the little girl. Poor kid was scared to death. I really don't understand how the minds of these types of parents work. Entitled parents are the frickin' worst. I hate the "my child, my choice" and "mind your business" mindset among them. If your kid is ruining an experience that I paid for, then yes, it is my freaking business. Prolonged exposure to fear without comfort or reprieve from your primary caregivers is a special kind of cruel. I can only imagine those parents were otherwise negligent and abusive. LOL, that's how I grew up, and it was freaking awful. My dad showed me Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I was 7, and then told me, because it was based on a true story, that Leatherface was still out there and he loved to kill little girls who misbehaved. My dad would go as far as buying masks of different horror villains and wearing them while sneaking up on me or rattling the bathroom door while I showered. I spent most of my childhood still and quiet because I didn't want to get in trouble and be gruesomely murdered by a guy with a chainsaw. We saw the Halloween sequel in the theater right before Halloween. It was extremely violent and gore or blood-filled. There were several kids under the age of 10 there. I could not believe that their parents thought it was a good idea to take them to that movie. I try not to judge. I had a very weird obsession with horror and gore when I was young. When I was 10, the sequel to my favorite horror movie came out on Easter, and that was my Easter present, going to see it in theaters. I was better with horror than my mother was at 6 years old. I start to judge when the kids are clearly terrified and disturbed and the parents do nothing about it. Parents should be prepared to exit the theater with their children if they're going to bring them to any movie when they start getting loud and distracting. My baby brother was 10 years younger than me, and I started taking him to movies when he was 5. It only took once for him to realize that if he couldn't keep quiet, he couldn't see the movie, and we never had an issue with him after that. All you have to do is teach your kid, but most parents don't give a dang. Most parents will eventually want some time away from their children, because children are a huge burden, and taking care of them is a lot of work. But they're already on the hook for theirs, so that's repeated exhaustion every single day, that they signed up for, but still. When you're in that exhausted mindset, it's easier to stop thinking rationally about the other people around you. And you stop caring whether you earned it or what the standards are, because you're tired, and you start making excuses. It's a horrible fate that I wouldn't wish on anyone. Being a parent isn't easy and should not be taken as lightly as these types of families generally do. They're failing their children and they're failing the society they're trying to contribute to.